Hi. Deliberately, at the very last moment, just before the Easter recess, Jez Phillips, Minister for Safeguarding Against Violence directed at women and girls, announced to an almost empty House of Commons that the 5 local inquiries into the rape gangs of primarily Pakistani origin men, her words, victims vulnerable white working class girls, were to be jettisoned, replaced by local authority investigations, which in effect means nothing will be done. Already the 5 local inquiries are under heavy criticism for lack of powers, which would allow alleged perpetrators, local social services, police forces, to avoid testifying. This itself was a much criticised for being an ineffectual replacement for a national inquiry. That means apart from the one remaining inquiry for Oldham, nothing, which means a massive cover-up by local and national authorities with, apart from criminal trials, the victims seem to have been abandoned by the political establishment just as they were in the first place. The government hopes that eventually this will all somehow fade from public memory. Quite simply, it won't. I actually think that the pressure has been put on Jess Phillips from above, which means Starmer and Yvette Cooper. But this doesn't absolve her from any responsibility. She should have at the very least resigned her post in protest. She didn't. All credibility gone. What Starmer and his government want to avoid at all costs is a repeat of last summer's riots, where a jihadist atrocity was associated with the Southport killings, along with Muslims in general, illegal migrants and grooming gangs, resulting in a predictable disorder and in many cases in the aftermath of disproportionate sentences. If Starmer thinks that by halting these what were bound to be ineffective toothless inquiries that will somehow dampen down the outrage, he's kidding himself, because he's leaving a populist and ultra-right room to fill the void, which they surely will, as will more enraged mobs should another Southport-like atrocity occur, or even something stemming from a trivial incident, real, or even in these days, imagined. Bye.